The 2-minute message preview this week at the non-denominational New Hope Olympia is how to stay connected to God. During the past several weeks, it has become evident to Pastor Dell that even though man thinks he is in control of his destiny, he is not. For thousands of years, man has held on to the foolish presumption that everything that happens in this world is because of his ability and effort. Pharaoh in the Bible thought he was a god. Hitler thought he was a world leader. Most professional athletes assume they are the best at their particular sport. And sadly enough, it usually takes a significant event to happen to us in our lives for us to admit who the one is that is in control of our destiny. It doesn't matter if you are the President of the United States, the First Lady, or Bill Gates, who currently holds a net worth of $102.1 billion. If you are not daily placing God first in your life, it is just a matter of time until God gets your attention. When God created us, He did it with the mindset that every living person, man or woman, would have a relationship with Him. Strange enough, as simple as it is to be connected to Him, many people still choose not to include Him in their lives. You see, the only way that God can be connected to us is by us first connecting to Him. The essential thing in this life is that you connect to Him. The Bible clearly explains that when we are connected to God, whatever we ask of Him, He will hear and answer us. God wants us to connect to Him in prayer. When George McCluskey married and started a family, he prayed for 1 hour a day because he wanted his kids to follow Christ. After a time, he expanded his prayers to include his grandchildren and great-grandchildren. He prayed for the next 3 generations every day between 11 a.m. and noon. His 2 daughters committed their lives to Christ and married men who went into full-time ministry. Those 2 couples produced 4 girls and 1 boy. The girls married ministers, and the boy became a pastor. The first 2 children born to this generation were both boys. After graduating high school, the 2 cousins chose the same college and became roommates. During their sophomore year, one boy decided to go into the ministry. The other didn't. He chose instead to pursue his interest in psychology. He earned his doctorate and eventually wrote books for parents that became bestsellers. He started a radio program heard on more than 1,000 stations each day. The man's name was James Dobson. Through his prayers, George McCluskey affected far more than one family. In his weekend message, Pastor Dell will share with us how to stay connected to God through prayer and fasting.